Hey there, it's just me, sitting here, wanting to share something that's been heavy on my heart for a long time. I'm not sure where to start, but I guess I'll just dive in because this story, it's shaped me in ways I never expected. It's about the time I got fired, replaced by my boss's daughter, and then somehow ended up as her boss years later. It's a lot, I know, but bear with me. It's raw, it's real, and it's something I still carry with me. I was working at this small marketing firm, a place I'd poured my heart into for nearly a decade. I started as a junior copywriter, fresh and eager, staying late to tweak ad campaigns, making coffee runs for the team, doing whatever it took to prove myself. Over the years, I climbed my way up to senior manager. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. I loved the work, crafting stories for brands, brainstorming with my team, seeing our ideas come to life. The office felt like a second home. My boss, Linda, was tough but fair, or so I thought. She'd always say, "You're my rock, Sarah. I don't know what I'd do without you." Those words meant everything to me. They kept me going through long nights and tight deadlines. But then things started to shift. Linda's daughter, Emily, graduated from college. She was 22, bright-eyed, full of confidence, but green, really green. She'd studied marketing, sure, but she hadn't worked a day in the field. One day, Linda called me into her office. I remember the way the sunlight streamed through her window, catching the dust in the air. I thought she was going to talk about a new client or maybe even a raise. Instead, she looked at me, her eyes kind of distant, and said, "Sarah, we're making some changes. Emily's joining the team. I'm promoting her to senior manager." I blinked, trying to process it. "Okay," I said slowly. "So what's my role now?" I thought maybe I'd be moving up too, or at least staying put. But Linda's face tightened, and she said, "I'm sorry, Sarah. We don't have a place for you anymore." Just like that. 10 years of loyalty, late nights, missed family dinners, gone. She said it was a business decision, but it felt personal. It felt like a betrayal. I walked out of her office, my hands shaking, my heart pounding so loud I could barely hear my own thoughts. I went home that day and cried. Not just a few tears, but the kind of sobbing that leaves you empty. My husband tried to comfort me, but I felt worthless. Like everything I'd worked for meant nothing. I kept thinking about Emily, sitting in my chair, using my desk, leading my team. She didn't know the clients like I did. She didn't know the late-night panic of a campaign falling apart, or the thrill of landing a big pitch. It wasn't her fault, I knew that, but it stung. It stung so bad. For months, I struggled. I sent out resumes, went to interviews, but nothing clicked. I started doubting myself. Maybe I wasn't as good as I thought. Maybe Linda was right to let me go. I'd lie awake at night, replaying every moment, wondering what I could have done differently. My savings dwindled, and I took freelance gigs just to keep the lights on. It was humbling, let me tell you. There were days I didn't want to get out of bed, but I had to. For my family, for myself. Then, about a year later, I got a call. It was from a bigger agency, one I'd applied to on a whim. They liked my portfolio and wanted me to come in for an interview. I was terrified, but I went. I poured everything I had into that meeting, every ounce of passion, every lesson I'd learned over the years. A week later, they offered me a job as a director. Not just any director, but head of their creative department. It was a step up, a big one. I remember signing the contract, my hands trembling for a different reason this time. It felt like a second chance. I threw myself into the new role. I built a team, took on major clients, and slowly started to feel like myself again. The work was hard, but it was good. I was good. And for a while, I thought that was the end of the story. I'd moved on, found my place, left the pain behind. But life has a funny way of circling back.
2 years into my new job, the agency decided to acquire a smaller firm to expand our reach. Guess which one? Linda's company. I didn't know until the deal was almost done. When I saw her name on the paperwork, my stomach dropped. I hadn't seen her or Emily since the day I was fired. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it wouldn't be easy. The day of the merger, I walked into what used to be my old office. Linda was there, looking older, a little more tired. Emily was there too, sitting at a desk, her face a mix of nerves and defiance. The room went quiet when I stepped in. I was introduced as the new head of the merged creative teams. I saw her eyes widen just for a second before she plastered on a smile. Emily didn't smile. She just stared. I won't lie, it felt good in a strange, bittersweet way. I wasn't out for revenge, but there was a part of me that wanted them to know I'd made it, that I wasn't the disposable employee they'd thought I was. But mostly, I felt sad. Sad for the years I'd lost, sad for the trust that was broken, sad that it had to be this way. Working with Emily was complicated. She was still green, still learning, but now I was her boss. I could have made it hard for her, could have let that old hurt guide me, but I didn't. I remembered how it felt to be pushed out, to feel like I didn't belong. So I mentored her. I gave her projects, taught her what I knew, tried to be the kind of leader I wished I'd had. Some days it was easy. She was smart, eager to learn. Other days I'd catch her rolling her eyes or whispering to her mom, and it took everything in me not to snap. Linda retired a year later. Before she left, she pulled me aside. She said, "Sarah, I made a mistake back then. I'm sorry." I nodded, but I didn't say much. Her words didn't erase the hurt, but they closed a door, I guess. I don't know if I've fully forgiven her, but I'm trying. Life's too short to hold on to that kind of anger. Now, I'm still at the agency, still leading my team. Emily's grown into her role, and we've found a way to work together. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Looking back, I realized that getting fired was the worst thing that ever happened to me, and the best. It broke me, but it also pushed me to find something better, something stronger. I'm not the same woman I was back then. I'm tougher, but I'm also kinder. I've learned that life doesn't always give you what you deserve, but sometimes it gives you a chance to become more than you ever thought you could be. So that's my story. It's messy, it's painful, but it's mine. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to share it with you.